Well, it looks like a massive week in GTA Online with tons of discounts, so let's take a look at what's actually worth grabbing from the updates released Thursday, 8th of December 2022. Hi and welcome back, my name's Dan and I'm an old grumpy gamer. Well, it seems like a massive week in GTA Online with some vehicle, property and even weapon discounts. But before we dive in, if you find this helpful, we do lots of Grand Theft Auto Online guides, tips and tricks. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more content like this. So let's start with the properties this week. We have agency purchases and upgrades on sale at 40% off. Honestly, this is one of the best solo businesses in the game. An agency will give you access to the Contract Heist series with Dr. Dre, Series A records once you've completed the heist so you can play as Franklin or Lamar, a free armored SUV, a free helicopter, quick travel and free snacks. And if you buy the upgrades, you'll also get discounted weapons and armor, access to special anti-griefers stuff for some cars and an additional spawn point, as well as VIP security contracts and payphone hits, which are amazing free roam earners. So yeah, 100% worth it even at full retail. There are 4 different agencies, but honestly they're all identical and even located near each other, so just go for the little soul and be done with it. Just a quick note though, you'll need an MC Clubhouse or a CEO's office to be able to use this in any meaningful form, so budget that in too. On to vehicles next, starting with the Conada, which is normally 2,450,000, but it's on sale this week at about 20% off, bringing it down to 1,960,000. The Conada's a 4-seater helicopter that tops out around 158 mile an hour or about 254 k's. This thing is one of the fastest helicopters in the game and gets around really well. Should you grab it though? Well, it's not a bad helicopter, but it's not a particularly good one either, so grab it if you're super keen. Next, let's have a look at the Corsita, which is normally 1,795,000, but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it to 1,256,500. This is a 2-seater rear-wheel drive 6-speed sports car that tops out about 131 miles per hour or 210 k's. This thing is fast and it pulls hard. The Corsita handles like it's on rails, making it an absolutely brilliant drive. Is it worth the effort though? Well, yeah, absolutely. It's a versatile sports car and the discount means you can spend more on something else. So yeah, grab it if you have the money. Let's have a look at the Cinquemila, which is normally 1,740,000 but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it down to 1,218,000. The Cinquemila is a 4-seater rear-wheel drive 8-speed sedan that tops out at 121 miles per hour or about 193 k's. This thing is fast and it pulls reasonably hard too. The handling on the Cinquemila is actually quite reasonable, but it's still pretty lively even so. Should you grab it though? Well, again, it's not a bad sedan, but it's not a particularly good one either, so grab it if you are super keen. Looking at the Astron, which is normally 1,580,000 but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it down to a shade over 1.1 million. This is a 4-seater all-wheel drive 7-speed SUV that tops out at just shy of 120 mile an hour or about 190 k's. This thing's pretty quick for what it is and it pulls reasonably hard too. The handling on the Astron lets it down a fair bit, making it a bit of a challenge to drive on regular roads around the map. But is it worth getting? I mean, it's not a bad SUV, but it's not a particularly good one either, so my vote would be to skip this one. Next up, we have the Champion, which is normally 2,995,000 but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it down to just under 2.1 mil. The Champion is a 2-seater rear-wheel drive 6-speed supercar that tops out around 124 mile an hour or just shy of 200 k's. This thing is fast and it pulls reasonably hard too. The handling on the Champion's actually quite reasonable, but it's still quite lively. Is it worth getting though? Well, yeah, it's a cracker of a unit and should prove plenty useful. Over to the Ignus, which is normally 2,765,000 but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it down to 1,935,500. It's a 2-seater all-wheel drive 7-speed supercar that tops out about 124 mile an hour or again just shy of 200 k's. This thing is fast and it pulls hard. The handling on the Ignus is pretty damn good, making this a dream drive. Is it worth getting though? I mean, yeah, It's not something I go out of my way to get, but if you're a fan, then the discount means it's a better time to buy. If you're not a fan though, I'd leave it. Looking at the Coquette D10, which is normally 1,510,000, but is on sale this week at 30% off, bringing it to a touch over 1 million. The D10 is a 2-seater rear-wheel drive 8-speed sports car that tops out about 130 mile an hour or just over 208 k's. This thing is fast and it gets up to speed reasonably quickly. And the Coquette D10 handles like it's on rails, making it a brilliant drive. Should you grab it though? Well, actually, yeah, without a doubt. This is a good unit and chances are you'll need it at some point, so definitely worth investing. Flipping over to the Rhinehart, which is normally just shy of 1.6 mil, but is on sale this week at a little over 1.1 mil. It's a 4-seater, all-wheel drive, 8-speed sedan that tops out about 123 mile an hour or just shy of 200 k's. This thing is fast and it pulls reasonably hard too. The handling on the Rhinehart lets it down a fair bit, making it a bit of a challenge to drive on the regular roads though. Is it worth getting though? Yeah, absolutely. It's a solid sedan and the discount means more money in your pocket. If you can scrape together the cash, yeah, dive in. Next up we have the Vigero ZX, which is normally just short of 2 million, but is on sale this week at about 20% off, bringing it down to about 1.5. The ZX is a 2-seater rear-wheel drive 6-speed muscle car that tops out at 125 mile an hour or 200 k's even. This thing is fast and it pulls pretty hard. It handles like it's on rails too, making it an absolute brilliant drive. Is it worth getting though? Yeah, well, I mean, it's not a bad muscle car, but it's certainly not a particularly good one either, so my vote would be to skip it. Last up on the vehicles list is the Draugur, which is normally 1.87 million, but is on sale this week, bringing it down to just over 1.3 mil. It's a 4-seater all-wheel drive 6-speed off-roader that tops out about 112 mile an hour or 180 k's. And this thing is pretty quick for what it is. It pulls reasonably hard too. The handling on the Draugur is actually quite reasonable, but it's still pretty lively. Is it worth getting though? Well, yeah, it's a cracker of a unit. Plus, you can turn it into a warthog. Next up, we have weapons with throwables at 50% off this week with tear gas, grenades, the pipe bomb, proximity mine, sticky bombs, and the jerry can, all 50% off. Now, the throwables are throwables. They are pretty potent and they are well worth grabbing, so stock up. The jerry can, yeah, I suppose if you like lighting stuff on fire, absolutely. The precision rifle is the other one to look at here. It's a sniper rifle, typically retails for 450 grand, but is on sale this week at about 30% off, bringing it to 315. The fire and reload rate could certainly be better, but it could be worse. Accuracy is a bit ordinary, but if you fire in short bursts, you should be okay, and you really only need to drill 1 or 2 in to get a solid result. Oh, and no grinding necessary for this one. It's available to complete noobs. Is it worth the effort though? Well, not really. It's just a bit ordinary, and it doesn't serve much of a purpose. Honestly, leave it. And that's it for this week's discounts. Check out the link top right for this week's GTA Online updates or the one down the bottom for a bit of a money guide. In the meantime, if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you in the next video.